I always believe that that Liverpool would drop points. I always felt that they were going to drop points. But the question was, if they drop points, will Arsenal be there to pounce? And today, that question has
Watch Tranzeet TV right now.
I'm Mikel. Keep watching Tranzeet TV.
Back again. Legends gather here. People who know football, they like this channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Hit the like button and share. Yeah, straight on to this one. From the first minute throughout the game, Arsenal never had the right tempo. They didn't start this one the right tempo, and it was always going to be difficult, considering the fact that West Ham got a win at Emirates last season. They come again, they did it again. This season, the starting was just off. You know, the players didn't look sure of what they wanted to do. They didn't look confident. They didn't trust each other that much. They defensively were all over the place, and yeah, and that's what happens. Just unlike Arsenal, the tempos they started this game today, especially at the Emirates, is something that you've not seen with this team before in a long time. And once they started that way, it was always going to be difficult to get out of gear. And of course, West Ham get their goal, and the rest will become history. But the thing is, we're going to go into this one, look at the shape of the team, talk about, you know, things that happen within the game, the 7 events he paused, and obviously look at Arteta. Is there anywhere he would have done things differently? And finally, the big question, the massive question. We'll look at that question. Stick around and find out what the big question for us now is going into this season. Few things we learned from this one. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. Like I talked about the team shape. You know, when you talk about injuries, people think that Saka not being there, Martinelli not being there, Havertz not being there, but Jesus not being there. It's all about, it's just that they nobody to score goals. No, there is more to it. If you look at look at their games from a technical perspective, Arsenal has formed a way of pressing team, a way of attacking. They have a rhythm, they have a system, the way they play. So when you don't have these players, it doesn't just take away the goals that you score. It also takes away the way you approach the game, the way you press, in the systematic way you usually press, the way you set trap for teams. Because pressing is not just about pouncing on somebody that has the ball. You also organize how you press to make them play out the way you want them to play out. And obviously that's where you have your strength to punish them. And so they lose all this when you lose 4 players in the same department. I've not seen this kind of thing before. Players get injured all over the team, but to have all your front players injured is obviously going to take a large chunk out of the team. Nobody could have envisaged this one, though the owners, the managers, the board, the Arteta, if case be, should have done something. And this started from the summer. And when you think you are being smart, you get Raheem Sterling at the last day of the transfer window in the summer, and this is what you get. So yeah, this is not the excuse for losing this game. It's nowhere. There's no excuse for losing this game today. At least get a draw. If you're really going for the title, you have to find a way within you, no matter, regardless of what is going on, and get a result out of this one. Like I said, another thing is the 7 events he paused. How are you one man down, make substitutions, and go ahead and get a red card, one goal down on a day that the spirits are low, both the fans, the players, everything is low. It was always going to be difficult for Arsenal to come back from this one. If you're an Arsenal fan, you were hoping that it's one of those days that miracles happen. But how do you get the miracle when, with all that is going on, your only glimmer of hope of getting a goal in this game, in the person of Eta Nwaneri, gets injured, and the option you have to bring in is Raheem Sterling? Tell me how you get a result. how do you get the result in that situation? One man down, Raheem Sterling comes in to come and rescue you. At this time of his career, Raheem Sterling, as far as I'm concerned, is done. Is done at this level. I'm sorry, Raheem. I've never really been his fan, even at his pump. I never really liked Raheem. I didn't think he was as good as the hype was. But where he is right now is the worst you can get from any professional player that has played at his level, and he's just 29. Raheem Sterling is done, and he is done. Secondly, Calafiori, for me, now questions have to be asked. Forget about the red card that the scale he got. That's all he could have done in that situation, because West Ham would have gone 2 goals up. So that foul was instinctive. It's a professional foul. VAR decided to scrutinize it, and you're not going to complain about the red card, because yes, if he would have scored the goal, nobody knows. But did he have a chance to get a run on the goal? Of course, obviously, yeah, Kudus had. And by the way, Kudus was by far the best player in that pitch. And this is what I was telling people who were talking about this game during the week. If you hear the name West Ham, Arsenal will win. But when you actually look at the players in that team, you know that this is going to be a difficult game for Arsenal. Wan-Bissaka has been playing very well for West Ham all through the season. Kudus is always a very stubborn equation for teams to handle. You have James Ward-Prowse, then you have Jabbo Bowen. Obviously, you have some things to think about in the teams. The foul, of course. So yeah, it was not, for me, I never saw it as going to be an easy game, especially for the fact that Arsenal have all these players injured. But I never expected that Arsenal was going to lose, though it was a possibility. So yeah, when it rains, he just pause. Then let's talk about Arteta. Could he have done things differently? Yes, there are a few things I expected Arteta to have done differently. One of them was, I didn't expect Mikel Arteta to start today. This guy is not a striker. He came in yesterday, last weekend, and made the impact. Don't put pressure on him. He said that he's not a striker. He never played that position before. That means he doesn't understand the intricacies of being a striker. So what do? Don't put him in the spotlight. But there are still going to be so many games that you need him to do something for you. If I were Arteta, for me, yes, Raheem Sterling is finished. I would have started Raheem in this one. The same way I started, giving 45 minutes. Whatever happens, then bring Moreno. Then when Moreno comes in, he comes with a different dimension. That's what I would have done. Secondly, Calafiori, Lewis Kelly has been our best left back. I don't know why Arteta decided to change it today and play Calafiori. There was nothing physical about, like, in terms of big sizes for West Ham today going forward. So what did Calafiori come in today to do? And he had a very, very, very awful game. Another person, so yeah, Arteta would have done things differently. If I were Arteta, I would have done things differently. My starting lineup would have been different, and I would have sent this team out. If worst come to worst, play Trossard as a first 9. Start that way, or even Raheem. Then just stay there, have Trossard and the one area on both sides. Play Raheem as a first 9. He has played that position before. At least he understands the movement. Forget about what he can do with the ball. And today, Odegaard was awful. As far as I'm concerned, he didn't have confidence in himself to take responsibility time that he needed to do that. And that's one of the problems that Arsenal had today. And the last thing that we're going to talk about this game is, like I said, the big question. The big question has always been, I always believe that that Liverpool would drop points. I always felt that they were going to drop points. But the question was, if they drop points, will Arsenal be there to pounce? And today, that question is half answered, if not entirely answered. Arsenal, I don't know if they're going to be there. It's 8 points. It's still not insurmountable. But if you're an Arsenal fan, you see this team play today the way they play today, having more difficult games to come, even better than West Ham, then you begin to panic. But that's football for you. You got to be there till the end. I feel that it's not looking good. If you're an Arsenal fan, your weekend is messed up. I don't know what you think out there. Do you think the league is done? Some people are getting text messages from my mates. They are saying it's done. That's the end of it. I don't believe so. I've watched this league for a long time, and things still happen. Like I said, at this time last season, Liverpool were on top of this league with about 6 points. So they have 3 games. I'm giving them, after which I will make my pronouncement. They're going to play City tomorrow and play Newcastle on Wednesday. After these 3 games, then it will be clearer what the league is going to look like. Don't forget, there are no games next weekend. There's a possibility of Saka and Martinelli coming back and coming to help this team. This team looks very, very toothless going forward. And with what Arsenal has now out on the pitch, you don't really want to blame anybody. It's really looking bad, especially because of injury. But again, we'll see again next one. Ciao.